So, Cowboys Nation, we are a week away from training camp, and we have a lot of questions that need to be answered going into 2025. But for me, instead of just asking all these crazy questions, let's just keep it real simple. What do the Cowboys need to do in 2025 to prove everybody wrong? Because the Cowboys, from all metrics, from PFF to other major media outlets, are all basically saying that the Cowboys have no chance to be competitive in the NFC East. And they're basically just going to be fighting for last place with the Giants. But sadly, most of those hot takes are just for clicks and views. But I'm going to tell you the truth about the Cowboys, whether you like it or not. The the Cowboys, let's just be honest, in last year were terrible. They were terrible. Offensive play calling was horrendous. They couldn't run the ball, couldn't stop the run. Defense was basically a leaking faucet. And Cooper Rush played the second half of the season because Dak tore his hamstring off the bone. And even with all that chaos and stupidity, we were still only 2 games away from making the playoffs. And we beat a Commanders team that made it to the conference championship game. And yes, we have a new coach, a new head coach, but I don't see that as a negative because Mike McCarthy, as a play caller, was so incompetent that we can't get any worse than we were last year, at least from offensive standpoint. So for me, I'm not all doom and gloom and basically everything's over like the mainstream media is going to portray it because they don't follow the Cowboys. They just know a lot of people tune in and they're going to say hot takes to get engagement. So I get that part. But we got to understand that the Cowboys aren't as far away as they make it seem. So let's talk about what they need to do in order to prove everybody wrong in 2025. So, the first thing that the Cowboys need to do in order to prove everybody wrong in 2025 is that they need to do something that's been plaguing them for years now: the inability to stop the run. If the Cowboys can find a way to stop the run, then I promise you, they will be scary defensively. But again, I'm not going to lie to you and then act like I'm not concerned or worried about the Cowboys going into 2025 from a run stopping perspective. And I don't really have that worry for the coaches. I think they'll be able to do their job. But the thing is, I worry about is the personnel. The Cowboys are basically Mazi or bust currently going into 2025, and I think it's lazy. If they were to get another veteran one tech in case Mazi doesn't pan out once again, then I'd be happy. And I've just seen a lot of misguided arguments from Cowboys content creators where they're trying to put the blame on the defensive ends, or they weren't setting the edge, or the safeties weren't good at tackling, and that all might be true. But it's not a fair argument to make. And I think it's a little bit lazy. Because yes, the whole unit was bad, but there was a reason why the whole unit looked bad. And I'll counter that argument by saying I watched a video that explained that the Eagles defense played a majority of their defensive snaps with a light box. So it was mainly the front that was holding it down. Their two D tackles were basically all they really needed to stop the run. They didn't have to bring down safeties. They didn't have to load up the box. They didn't have to really show looks that, oh, we're coming to stop the run, because they had two stout defensive tackles that kept the O line from getting upfield up to the linebackers, and they were able to stop the running back with just those two main guys. The Cowboys don't have that type of personnel. Well, at least they don't have the personnel to do it consistently, because our D line tends to be light from a weight perspective, because yes, it gives us a speed advantage, but there's a trade-off. And that trade-off has always bitten the Cowboys when they needed to stop the run the most, because teams, all they would do is just run directly at you, wear you down, and by the fourth quarter, it's basically game. Even before then, you could basically say it was game by third quarter, realistically, because it's like, if you can't stop the run, what are you going to do? We're just very light on the defensive line, and I get it. They prioritize pass rush, but there's always a trade off. I like a more balanced team defensively on the D line. Cowboys, they like speed. They like speed. They like speed rusher. Yes, I get it's great when you're getting sacks, but if the team could just sit there and run the ball, you're not going to get sacks. So, and I said, not to poo poo on Mazi. I hope he's successful, but at this point, I'm just tired of waiting. And if someone like a Jay Toia, the rookie out of UCLA, if he could step up, then I'm fine with him being the main guy. I don't care. I just want the Cowboys to win. And the Cowboys need to find a way to stop the run if they want to do that. And they want to prove people wrong going into 2025. So the second thing that the Cowboys need to do in order to prove everyone wrong in 2025 is Dak needs to have a resurgence. He doesn't need to have gaudy numbers, but he just needs to stay healthy and be an efficient passer. I give him a pass for last year. And this is not, oh, just the biasness, or you're just a Cowboys fan. Oh, you're a Dak apologist. No, I give Dak a pass last year because I'm sorry. Mike McCarthy did exactly what I worried he was going to do in 2025. I felt in a contract year, he wouldn't care and would just revert to basic, predictable play calling, just trash offense, and that would put all the pressure on Dak to be amazing to win. If you really look at the Cowboys, how they've been under Dak, it's been Dak or bust. A lot of those teams that they claim to be so good have not been good teams. It's Dak has been playing amazing, holding that team together. And eventually, you're going to get a bad game in the playoff times because you get better coaching. Better coaching. They see what you're doing, they got film on you, and then they clamp down. And then they dare you to still keep doing what you're doing. And the Cowboys never had a counter. Under Mike McCarthy, they didn't ever have a counter. It's we do it this way, and that's it. And the problem is, like I always go back to, and I said it before, Mike McCarthy's scheme couldn't beat the 49ers, got stomped by the Packers. Those are the games that you had to win when it mattered, and you just couldn't do it. And if it couldn't work for the years that you were doing it, what do you think was going to happen after a while? Teams adapt. Yes, you had some success, but the good teams understand what you're doing. And if you don't have a counter, you will get beat. And that's all Mike McCarthy did, was he did was what he knew. He didn't care about what they were doing nowadays. It's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna stick to it. And what happened? DBs were literally sitting on routes, and they were double teaming CeeDee Lamb all game. And for some reason, the quarterbacks were being taught to still force the ball. Because I don't care what you said. When I was watching those games, I'm seeing Dak and Cooper Rush make the same mistake, force feeding a ball to CeeDee Lamb as if he's going to be open. And if two different quarterbacks are making the same mistakes, that tells me that's being taught by the coaches. They're saying 1, 2, 3 step throw, and they're basically saying don't care about what the defense is doing, it will be open, and that's how they were doing it. It was such timing had to be, and it just looked bad. Both Dak and Cooper Rush didn't look good, but I just believe now with Shoddy as the head coach, Clayton Adams as the offensive coordinator, they're going to clean up a lot of that stupidity that we were doing last year. And I believe the addition of pieces to improve the run, like a Tyler Booker, along with having a baller like George Pickens at wide receiver, will allow the Cowboys to finally take pressure off of Dak Prescott and not force him to have to be Superman each game in order to win. Dak has the ability to be great. We've seen it. We've seen it plenty of times. But all my hope going into 2025 is if we want to prove everybody wrong, we got to keep him clean and healthy. That's the only way. If Dak can have a resurgence, oh, we're going to be cooking. I can promise you that. So finally, the last thing the Cowboys need to do in order to prove everyone wrong in 2025 is the thing that's been plaguing the Cowboys for 20 plus years and something they've been struggling to do, unfortunately. And the thing they've been struggling to do is to make that playoff push. And I just got to be honest, because people they're gonna lie to you. When I say that the Cowboys need to make a playoff push, it's not what other people say, it's what they mean. When they say that, they're pretending it to mean as if they're saying, oh, if Cowboys make the conference championship, they'll be good. No, what they actually mean is the Cowboys need to win a Super Bowl. I don't care what people tell you. All those Cowboys haters, fans, trolls, mainstream media, they hold Cowboys to a standard. And the standard is if they don't win a Super Bowl, nobody cares. That's just a fact. Even if they make the conference championship and they lose, they'll trash the Cowboys. Even if they make the Super Bowl and lose, they will trash the Cowboys. The only way the Cowboys can prove everyone wrong in 2025 is by winning the Super Bowl. It's an annoying standard. It is what it is. It's annoying standard. But that's what comes with being America's team. You will be hated no matter what. So you might as well be hated and be a winner. So for me, that's the most important thing the Cowboys need to do in order to prove everyone wrong in 2025. Is it realistic? No. But that's what comes with the territory. And don't take it as, oh, he's a Cowboys fan. He's saying, oh, it's our year. That's lazy. What I'm saying is that the bar is set so high for the Cowboys that even if they achieve the goal of winning a Super Bowl, they're still going to be criticized. It's annoying, but hey, it is what it is. Being a Cowboys fan is not for the weak. The standard is impossible to reach for a reason. They want the Cowboys in that cycle where we could just trash them and then get our clicks and views and get paid off of it. But again, it is what it is. Cowboys Nations, Cowboys Nation. I can't even talk right now. Cowboys Nation. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know what you believe the Cowboys need to do in order to prove everyone wrong in 2025. And subscribe to the channel so I can keep giving you guys that real sports talk, especially about my Dallas Cowboys. My name is Mecca Mike, and again, that's Mecca, Meccha Mike, and I'm out.